Carrie Murphy, and welcome to Spotlight, where we showcase incredible entrepreneurs and their story. And if you are an entrepreneur, there is one thing that you are always thinking about, and that is money. How do I make more? How do I keep what I have? How do I actually create more profit? And I am telling you, there is one lady that knows how to do this better than anyone I have ever met, and it is profit coach, author, and speaker, the amazing Susie Carder. Susie Carder, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me today.
Well, you know I love you because I've been working with you for a long time, and as someone who's been an entrepreneur for over 20 years, you know, we often think about gross revenue. We don't think about profit. And you're someone who really believes that wealth is a birthright. Why do you believe that?
Well, one, because I created it for myself. It wasn't something that was handed down to me. It was something that I said I needed to create a living for myself and my children. I was a single mom and didn't have anyone taking care of me. So I'm like, I got to figure out how I can manage this money thing.
Right.
And manage it to have a lifestyle that I want to have versus the lifestyle people feel like they're stuck inside of.
Oh, so true.
And 80% of entrepreneurs have no profit in their business.
Wait, 80%?
80%.
Wow.
And 80% don't pay themselves. So not only do they not have profit, but they're not paying themselves.
Right.
Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, why are we in business?
Right, if we're not making any money.
Yeah.
So my first passion, my first love is to really help the entrepreneur do what they love what they do, but make a lot of money doing it.
But that wasn't something that you were like raised with. Like you didn't grow up with a lot of wealth, but like you said, you were a single mom. You were a hairdresser. Now I come from a whole family of hairdressers, so there's a lot of respect here.
Right.
But to see what you've built, Susie, since then, you have built the largest training and development company in the country for cosmetology schools.
Right.
How did you do that?
Well, again, starting out as, you know, an entrepreneur, you know, that industry, you're an entrepreneur from day one.
Right.
And loved what I did, loved the vocation of what I did, but 15% of your financial success is your technical ability. So it's the vocation that we do. The other 85% is the business acumen. It's the sales, it's the marketing, the operations. And I figured that out early. And I didn't go to traditional college. I went to, if I needed to learn to how to market, I went to a marketing class. If I needed to understand the P&L, I took an accounting class. If I got sued as a business owner, I went to a business law class. I was like, I'm
figure out how
not
not
going
to
to make
do
that
this
mistake
again,
again. Right. And so, you know, I came from 9 kids. There was Bobby, Ronnie, Stevie, Terry, Joni, Shelley, Susie, Kelly, Debbie.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I knew that you came from 9 kids, Susie.
9 kids.
Wow.
There was 11 of us. We had 1,200 square feet that we all lived in, and 1 bathroom with 6 girls. I don't know how we did it.
Come on.
I don't know how we did it, but we did it. But I just made the decision of there's got to be something else. So I'm a lifelong learner. I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm an advocate for education. And just the way that I did it was I needed to learn it today and implement it tomorrow. And really wanted to figure out the money thing, really wanted to figure out, when I'm looking at a P&L, I just didn't get it. Like, why do you have to have 2? Why do you have to have the curl and the sales? Why can't we just have 1?
Right.
And so I just made it my passion. And, you know, I have been gifted with the ability to make money. And early on, I was gifted with the ability of spending a lot of it.
Right. Is there a balance somehow here, right?
And I wanted to build wealth.
Yeah.
And so I grew the largest training and development company in the beauty industry. We're the top 1% of the nation, top 10% in the world. And that was because of my passion for the industry and my passion for the entrepreneur. And we sold it to a large publishing company, Thompson Learning. And when I look back, just as a single mom, the funny thing with that story, you know, as a single mom building my business, they were actually the publisher that denied me in publishing my first book.
Like, you're going to deny me my book, but you're going to buy my business.
For millions.
Right.
For millions.
Like, I think it was 9 figures.
9 figures.
Wow. So, you know, just a little.
Just a little.
Yeah.
So I want to teach other entrepreneurs how to do that. That was my passion, to go, if I can do it from not having a formal education and understanding this complicated thing that most entrepreneurs are scared to death of.
Right.
Let me show you in a very systematic process, because it's the foundation of our business.
Right.
If you don't have financial prosperity, go get a job somewhere.
Well, exactly, and a lot of people own a job.
Right.
You know, and that's why I love the EMyth, and I think that a lot of people, they come from a technician background. They come from being a hairdresser or, you know, anything else that
A landscape design,
a landscaper,
an
you know,
artist,
yeah.
right.
And they decide, I want to own my own business, but they don't have the understanding of what it takes to move from technician into business owner.
Right.
Right? That allows them to pay themselves and have profit.
Right.
So when you work with people, Susie, what is usually the first thing that you do?
The first thing is really...
Besides look at their P&L, right?
It always starts with the money. It always starts with the money because the money tells you a story. So I will look at their profit and loss, and then the next thing is their business plan. And everybody resists a business plan. But it's like you getting in the car and going to a cross country and not having a plan and just driving, going, I'm going to get there.
Right.
And you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars going, I'm going to get there.
Right.
To go,
I got the gas on.
Right.
I'm going somewhere.
So when we have the plan, then it helps everyone around you to go, how are we getting those customers? How many clients do we need to have looking at us? How many leads do we need to get to convert into sales? Like really complicated stuff, but I make it fun. I put it in worksheets that make it fun for them, to really look at math is money and money is fun.
Right.
Right? It's not something to be afraid of.
Now, one of the things that I'm committed to is only introducing people to my audience and my community who I truly believe in and know the work that you do. And Susie, as someone who has worked with you and have gone through that process, I've gone through that worksheet because I think sometimes as an entrepreneur, we're visionaries. We think big, and you're right, we have our foot on the pedal and it is full throttle, but we're not looking at, how do we really acquire this wealth? How do we reach this number? What do we need to break down? How many leads? And I think for a lot of people that is a scary process, but you really do make it fun. You do make it fun. Is there a difference when you work with women entrepreneurs versus men when it comes to money?
Men have an understanding that they're supposed to be the provider. And women, a lot of time, don't want to take responsibility for it. So there is a slight difference. Our generation, meaning you and I, we came in through a generation that we knew that if we're responsible, we're going to make it happen. So I work with someone that has an open mindset, that's very coachable, that already has an existing business to start with. Startups aren't necessarily my sweet spot. It's a business that has at least $250,000 in sales, because that I can tweak a couple things and make it rain.
Right. Make it rain.
Make it rain. And I like making it rain.
Right. I like it when you do.
Right. To be able to put the foundation in place, because you just don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And I've been doing this for 25 years.
Wow.
So I know what I know, and there's a formula to it. Once you understand the formula, and that's my goal, is I want to teach you the formula. I don't want you dependent on me. I want you to understand how to do this so that you can make wealth your birthright.
Right.
And then once you figure out the money machine inside your business, then we have a fiscal responsibility to ourselves, to our family, to our children, to go, I need to build my wealth so I don't own this job forever.
Right. Absolutely.
Every day we're building a business to either rebuy it ourselves or to sell it to somebody else. And so when you go into business with that mindset, it's different than going, this is my baby. No, it's not your baby.
Right. It's your business.
It's your business.
Yeah.
And the idea is to sell it to somebody else, or build enough profit to keep it to yourself, so that then you can live and retire and live in the same lifestyle that you did when you were running your business.
So good. And I love that you say, because wealth is our birthright. I always say no one is born with a success gene.
Right.
There's no one here that is, more worthy than making money than someone else, and it really is the formula, and you're so good at teaching that. And there have been times too. It is a mindset. And I know you've lost a lot of money and you've made a lot of money, but I think that's what real success is when you lose it all, you know how to recreate it, right?
Yeah, it took me a couple years, right? Because I was at my pinnacle, right? I was heavily invested in real estate, and I didn't have to work anymore.
Yeah.
Like I could choose not to, which is a great
such a lovely place to be.
I love that place. I still did what I did, but I loved it. Then the market crashed. And when the market crashed, I really crashed.
Yeah, so many people did, Susie.
I lost my home. I ended up getting a divorce after 17 years. My children had both moved out. So I had felt like the world was coming down.
Sure.
And I remember being on my knees just praying, saying, why? And it said, this will be your biggest lesson and your biggest victory. Oh. And I was like, okay, let me, pull up my big girl panties and get up to go, you know what you know. Like, I know what I know. So I just got busy. I know what I know. And so to be able to it took me 20 years to accumulate that wealth. And I'm talking $10 million in wealth, and overnight.
Like, goodbye.
Yeah, overnight. It was literally overnight.
Yeah, that can hurt.
That hurt a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I got really present to it's a formula. And if you just take your own coaching,
right.
take your own coaching,
Take your own coaching,
you can rebuild it. So it took me 20 years to build that. And then it took me only 5 years to rebuild it.
That's amazing, Susie. So I just want to, for those people who are listening right now, who are maybe going through something where they're asking God, like, why me? Or this is just a really tough time. How am I going to rebuild this? Say what you said one more time. This is going to be your greatest lesson.
Your greatest lesson and your biggest victory.
And your biggest victory. So it is a formula. So share with us, Susie, what are 3 things that someone can do? They're watching, they're excited, they're like, oh, I'm excited to make more money. It's a formula that they can implement to start increasing their wealth.
So the first thing I need you to understand is you have to be in your niche. Like, you have to do what you
Amen.
love.
Yes.
And then the money will come. You can't go, I had a client that she wanted to coach entrepreneurs and she was a doctor. And I'm like, well, where's your credibility? She's like, oh, well, they just come to me. But where's your credibility? You have no credibility. Like, what are you credible in? She was like, well, I'm a doctor, and her son was autistic, and she just started crying, like just her passion for her son. I'm like, well, you know how to be a parent, and you're a doctor, so you fuse those 2 together. Like, in creating this whole awareness for autism, and you just really look at, what am I really great at? What is that? What is my God gift, my God talent?
Yes.
That thing, like, this is your God's gift, right? You could do this all day long, doesn't exhaust you. That's the first thing you have to tap into. Tap into what you're really great at, right? Because if you can have success doing something you're not, but it's hard money. I grew the largest technology company in the beauty industry. That was the hardest money I've ever made. We did millions of dollars in that business, but
that was hard.
Hard money, because it wasn't fun for me. I'm not a
Right.
techie person.
Right.
You know, but then I had to all of a sudden start learning all of that. So one, really
But
creating
another
that.
great example, Susie, of the formula.
Another great
Like,
example.
yeah,
of formula.
right? Yeah.
Right. You can do it.
It could be not fun, or it could be fun formula.
I choose fun.
Yes.
Like, let's choose fun.
Yes, yes.
Right? And then the next thing is to put that plan together. And then really putting the plan together from looking at from here to when it's complete. Not just the first year, not just the second year. You know, when I took over one of my clients' businesses, I ran her company for 7 years. I created a $40 million business. She was doing about $700,000 at that time.
Wow, Susie,
And
that's
so
amazing.
for her, I freaked her out.
Yeah.
But I could see the formula. I'm like, no,
Right.
no, it's easy.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, I don't see easy. Right. But we've been able to grow it to a multi-million-dollar organization. We're still not at 40 million, right? But the reality is the infrastructure is in place for
Right.
a $40 million business.
Sure.
And I think the biggest thing people have to realize in business is dysfunctional. It'll never be perfect. It'll never really be done.
Right.
Until you sell it.
Yeah.
And to just
And even then, it's not done. Someone else just starts dealing with it.
Right. So making sure you're having fun, making sure you're in your sweet spot, making sure you have that plan that you put in place, and find a really great coach.
Yeah,
Whether
I was
it's
just
me,
going to say that.
Whether it's you, a really great coach will tell you what you don't want to hear, show you what you don't want to see, so that you could be the person you knew you could be.
Oh, it's
Like,
so
I
good.
really want you to find someone that's that champion for you, that's going to be in your corner, whether it's you, whether it's me. I don't care. Just find somebody. I have a
Right.
coach in my finances. I have a wealth strategist. I have a fitness strategist. I have a health strategist. So I have a personal development that helps me in my relationships. Now, I don't go to them all at once. I'm
That
not
would be a whole lot, Susie.
but I have people that I plug into.
Well, that is so important, because for any of us to reach a certain level of success or to create something different, you have to do something different. And we can't, as Les Brown says, and I say it all the time, you can't see the frame when you're in the picture.
Right.
And if you're really going to build a business that creates wealth, you need to bring team in and
You have to have
people-
someone
and you
10
have to be
steps
willing
a-
to invest in yourself
Right.
too.
And you have to have someone 10 steps ahead of you.
Right.
You don't want to get agreement. You don't want someone to agree with every decision. You want someone to question that decision.
Right.
You want someone to poke holes in it, to go, no, no, no. Or at least save you the path, right? I have fallen down, I have failed amazing. To go, oh, if you fall down, I want to pick you up and go, let's not go there, let's go here.
Yeah.
Right? Let's not do this, let's do that.
Yep.
Right? That's a really great coach.
Absolutely.
Versus someone that just is a yes person or alignment, or that's more of a friend.
Yeah,
Have
that's a
someone as your
cheerleader,
friend.
and those are great too.
Yes,
right?
gotta have 'em all.
Gotta have them all.
Right.
Okay, Susie. Well, I'm inspired by you. I hope you are inspired to go out there and claim that wealth that is your birthright. Susie, if they want to find out how to work with you, how do they do that?
Go to my website at susiecarder.com, and I look forward to building your wealth.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. Love you so much.
Love you.
So good. Again, 9 kids.
9 kids.
1,200 square feet.
1,200 square feet.
You
One
can
bathroom.
create any life that you want. It really is possible. And I hope that you are inspired by this interview. If you are, please share it. And of course, we would love to hear your comments, because here's the thing. When you are inspired, you inspire others. So please, again, post your comments. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, remember to keep dreaming it, living it, and being it. Until next time.